There's a fad in the car world at the minute that is the bane of every car enthusiast's existence: the crossover. The idea of a crossover is simple. Take a hatchback and raise it up like a Jeep. Sales went insane. Every family with one child now decides that their family hatchback just will not do, even though it has the exact same cargo space but just isn't 6 foot off the ground. Now, don't get me wrong, this would be cool if it wasn't killing standard hatchbacks and sedans. Saloons, estates, hatchbacks, they're all falling by the wayside, and now they're even giving them classic car names, which is frankly fucking appalling. Looking at you, Ford Capri, and I'm still not okay with that. In the beginning, the idea was very cool. The AMC Eagle was actually one of the first. A 4-wheel drive, small, lifted car. Well, of course, Volkswagen then decided they wanted in on the action. And to do it, they drafted in the help of a company very closely associated with another favourite brand of ours, the 3-pointed star. As part of our 50 years of golf celebration, let's deep dive into the golf country. Okay, stop. Hang on, Mr. Fucking I'm gonna go and comment on this video seconds in before we even watched the damn thing. Yes, I know, it's a stretch. It's called entertainment. Listen, shut up, stop commenting. I don't know why some people really feel the need to go straight to the comments as soon as they've read the title or seen the thumbnail and think, I'm gonna make a comment about this and I'm gonna tell him he's wrong, by saying exactly what he said later on in the video. And if they just watched the fucking thing, they'd have heard me say that. It's getting worse now. It's happening more and more frequently. So fucking watch the video and then comment. Thank you. Anyway, yes, in a bizarre chain of events that nobody really saw coming, Volkswagen decided they were going to make their own attempt at an AMC Eagle. 4-wheel drive, lifted and with bull bars front and back, they were a surprisingly capable 4-wheel drive Golf that was all kinds of cool. Shown to the public at the '89 Geneva Motor Show, it was based on the 4-door Golf Synchro CL, which was the standard hatchback version of a 4-wheel drive Golf. Yes, you could actually just get a standard 4-wheel drive Golf back then. They had a subframe fitted to the back rather than a rear beam, a totally different setup than your average Golf. Its nickname at the time was the Montana, which I think actually became a colour on the Mark II around then, or already was a colour. Anyway, and it was never actually planned to go into production, it was just a concept car, but like many other concepts, the demand for it was so high that Volkswagen decided, fuck it, let's just make a few of them. They were fitted with the bog standard 90-something horsepower 1.8 engine, the largest fitted to a non-GTI Golf. Essentially it was a GTI, well, without the I. Although if you were one of the people on the factory floor at Wolfsburg, you were allowed to option it with a GTI engine. They're awful good like that. The standard Golf Synchro would be mostly built on the usual production line, and then it would be shipped over to Steyr Puch's Special Vehicles Department in Austria to be finished off in country spec. And 2 years later, a grand total of 7,735 were built. That's right, you heard me right there, Steyr Puch. There's a reason you've heard that name before. Steyr Puch are specialists in all things 4-wheel drive, and at the time they were owned by none other than Daimler-Benz, or Mercedes-Benz if you're not so inclined. And on the same assembly line as the Golf Country and the T25 Synchro was the Mercedes G-Wagon. Steyr Puch developed the Mercedes' 4MATIC system and were the only people allowed to make the 4MATIC E-Class from 96 to 06, so basically the W210 and the start of the W211. So, your Golf Country has got some Mercedes DNA in it. So really it means it's about time we bought one. Now renamed Magna Steyr for some reason, their back catalogue is actually mighty impressive and makes for some damn good reading. As well as our beloved Golf Country, they also played a hand in various Jeeps, Chryslers, Peugeots, Aston Martins and even more. And of course, they still make the G-Wagon to this day, alongside the Jaguar F-Type and the Supra GR, which presumably means also the BMW Z4. Fascinating. 2 versions of the Golf Country were available. The all-round, which was the base model and most popular one with less amenities, and the Chrome Pack model, which had all the mod cons. It had chrome bull bars, a Webasto interior heater, not the standard one, but one that could actually preheat the interior before you got in, kind of like a diesel heater I suppose, and beige leather seats. As you can probably imagine, these cars were much more popular in Scandinavian and Alpine countries, but, you know, the chrome pack was well decked out, but it also looked like wank in my opinion, so there you go. The most striking feature, of course, was the off-road equipment that was fitted. On the front, you would find a bull bar with 2 spotlights mounted, or if you opted for the most base spec model, you didn't get any spotlights at all. And a rear-mounted external bull bar that also housed the spur wheel, which was another speedline unit, same as the other 4 on the car, which are one of the nicest wheels I think on the Golfs. Crazily, that rear bull bar unit thing opened sideways, so you could still open the boot hatch, kind of like a Hilux Surf. God, I wish I had a Hilux Surf. Not the most practical of setups for a hatchback, but still fucking cool. Under the front bull bar, you'd also find a skid plate to protect it when you're going off-roading, and a raised ride height of 21 centimeters, which is that, thanks to some hefty shocks and springs. Sadly, unlike, say, Quattros of the time, it's not permanent four-wheel drive. As cool as that would have been, it only engages when the wheels detect slip, like nearly every bloody all-wheel drive setup there is. This does mean, though, that fuel economy isn't totally slaughtered in day-to-day use, so I guess that balances out. According to GolfCountry.net, some 438 parts were added to the base Golf Synchro to convert it to a country, which is no small feat, really. The saddest part of the whole story, though, is that they were only ever made for 1 year, and we never got one over here in Ireland. They were only ever left-hand drive because fuck us, I guess, and they were only petrols. So, likely they were extremely expensive, and, well, weren't a sales success. Because that's always the bloody way. Nobody wants the stuff when it's new, only 30 years later when we decide it's cool. A lot of people at the time also decided the Golf Country was just too much of a compromise, really, because what it lost in its on-road capabilities, like a standard Golf, I mean, it wasn't that fucking good at going off-road. I mean, again, you would just buy a Jeep, you know? Land Rover owners are safe for now, don't worry. But I still can't help but think fellas over here would have went fucking crazy for a 4-wheel drive, lifted diesel Golf. Our dream, someday, is to get one, convert it to right-hand drive, and put a TDI in it. Maybe if you buy enough t-shirts or the shop takes off, who knows. Speaking of sales successes, check out... that's so bad. Check out our new web store, 427motorsports.co.uk, I'll write it down here, where we make t-shirts with obscure, weird-ass fucking Volkswagens and Mercedes on it for you to check out. Now, each video that we do has a themed t-shirt to go with it. This one's, naturally, is Going Up the Country, which is Canned Heat, I think. Yeah, Going Up the Country. Yeah, that's Canned Heat. Anyway, it's got a Golf Country on it, and you ain't gonna see this shit in like Tesco's or anything like that. So if you want to get yourself some cool t-shirts that you ain't gonna see many people wearing, although hopefully someday they will wear it, because that would mean our shop is a success. I can actually hear somebody in a fucking straight pipe 350Z going down the road, and it's really loud. Anyway, go check out our web store. We're not sponsored or anything, that's how we get the money together to fucking buy ship boxes and do cool videos. So if you see any designs you like, go and check it out. It would mean a lot to us, and yeah. Anyway, back to the show. Unfortunately, it's a very sad state of affairs that the crossover virus I said, has let the car world in. It's led to the demise of so many icons out there, like the Ford Fiesta, and now they're even slaughtering iconic names like the Eclipse and the Capri. These thinly veiled front-wheel drive grocery getters are a sad imitation of the wild and adventurous crossovers of old, such as the Golf Country. And the Golf Country, Volkswagen's odd experiment into a market that didn't really exist yet, is a shining example of just how cool it could have been. As always, I want to give a very big thank you to all of you for tuning into the channel. Cannot believe that many people have decided all of a sudden that we're actually worth listening to for some stupid reason, but thank you all so much. We sit and watch the number, like each subscribe, each view, and every single one of them, every one of you means so much to us. Thank you so much. We can't stop smiling, honestly. And thanks as well for tuning in to the golf van video that I just did, because again, that's very different from what you're probably now here for, but that's what we usually do. We're going to do both, don't worry, but you know, it's kind of cool backing up the knowledge that we're talking about with showing you us actually working on the stuff. So I guess that's something. I'm rambling here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go and check out our shop if you like. Tell your friends, subscribe, all that shit. Thanks very much. Good luck.